So the Chicago Bears are looking to do the exact opposite of a lot of contending teams. And actually, I think it's going to be the exact opposite of what GM Ryan Poles has done over the last couple seasons since he's been in charge. And we're kind of looking at recent seasons under our GM Ryan Poles. The Bears have been buyers, right? We traded a second round pick for Chase Claypool back in 2022, a swing and miss there, right? But we got it right with Montez Sweat in 2023. But now we're looking at the Bears being in a completely different spot. And this year it might take a different turn. And NFL insider Jeremy Fowler, he suggests as well that the Bears could be one of the top sellers, not buyers during the trade period. And kind of going to this story here for you guys. This is on NFL.com, so kind of check this out. It kind of illustrates what Ian Rappaport is talking about here. The Bears have received a ton of interest in guard Nate Davis, and it's reported that the team is definitely weighing trade options for pass rusher Dominique Robinson as well. So we're kind of looking at both players. If the Bears could get a ton of draft capital or even like measurable draft capital, maybe like a fourth round pick, they should trade them away. And Davis, as you know, he's been a huge disappointment. He was demoted to the bench, while Robinson, he's been a healthy scratch all season. And the healthy scratch was kind of a little bit of a surprise because Dominique Robinson, during this preseason, during this camp, he was starting to show sparks of what the Bears were hoping that he would be when he was drafted way back in the day. And also kind of looking at the Nate Davis possible transaction. For this to happen, the Bears would have to be willing to cover part of Davis's $8.75 million salary. Teams like Dallas, teams like Arizona, the Washington Commanders, they might definitely be interested in Robinson, and that's due to their need at pass rusher, especially the Dallas Cowboys. And I'm going to bounce back and forth between these two players. If you look at guard Nate Davis, he started 2 games this season, 67 in his career. He's kind of hit a speed bump during his time in Chicago. I think a lot of it's self-inflicted. I don't think it's a talent level. I think it's an attitude problem. And he could be a key depth piece for a team in need right now. So here's how much the team has changed. The Bears will be willing to take an atypical approach by shipping away some of their players. And that's what Fowler was talking about. And this is a quote. The Bears are looking at adding at the trade deadline during the early stages of the Ryan Poles, Matt Eberflus regime, but they're now in a position to deal away extras. The Bears are a different team now. They've built up great depth at several key positions. So kind of bouncing back to Davis, and don't get me wrong, I don't want to get rid of Davis for just anything, for like a 5th or 6th round pick, because depth is going to be crucial in this gauntlet that we're running in the NFC North this second half of the season. And to have Nate Davis still sitting there, kind of a if in need break glass kind of player, I think it's really key. So let's not get rid of him for nothing. But he was benched in week 3, inactive for the team's week 6 win over Jacksonville, and that was in London. And trading Davis, once again, it would require Chicago to cover some of his salary because this experiment has not done well. Kind of moving over to Robinson, I think he's actually a more attractive player. He was a 2022 5th round pick. He has played in 28 combined games over 2022 and 2023, and he's been a healthy scratch most of the year this year. So Dominique Robinson might be a player he could be a player that just needs a fresh start. Dallas, Arizona, Washington, all shorthanded at pass rusher. I think he would be a good fit. I think he's definitely somebody, if we can get a 5th rounder back for him, let's definitely do it. There's also been a lot of talk about Khalil Herbert as the odd man out of the rotation in Chicago's backfield. And then you're also looking at offensive tackle Larry Borum getting closer to return from injured reserve. And the team's looking in on this. We also had Velus Jones as a potential trade-away target. But as you know, he was recently released along with fullback Kari Blasingame. So we're looking at Khalil Herbert. and it's definitely substantiated that the Minnesota Vikings, they were showing an interest in acquiring Herbert. We would not answer to the price. I think it was a fifth rounder. We said no. They grabbed Cam Akers from Houston, and yeah, the Vikings ended up giving up a 6th-round pick for Akers, and that was definitely what they were offering the Bears. So I'm glad we didn't take that deal because he is so far from being a bad running back. He once was our starter, but the backfield has become crowded with DeAndre Swift, Roshan Jackson, and now we have Homer coming back from IR. Man, we are one injury away from needing a running back pretty desperately. If you guys haven't forgotten, the just recently jettisoned Blasingame, he was our starter for a game last year, and all of our running backs went down. We were just relegated to marginal backup depth hitting the field for us. So I don't think we should trade Herbert. Velus Jones, he's done. That experiment is over, thank God. But now that we're moving forward, there is a possibility the Bears could spend. I just don't think it's a big Myles Garrett trade. I don't think it's like a big ground mover. I think it's something a little smaller if we are buyers here. So Ryan Poles' history of trading second-round picks, even when the team was struggling, it's definitely a possibility that he spends big. We're just in a different spot as a team right now. So the Bears have 2 second-round picks this year. The Bears could be inclined to trade for a premium player. We're going to have some tough battles in the NFC North, but some players might be available via trade that the Bears should consider. And here are some potential trade targets for the Chicago Bears. And I think actually the most attractive player that Chicago should kick the tires on would be Azeez Ojulari from the Giants. So we're looking at November 5th is coming in less than 2 weeks. Pass rushers are at a premium, and Azeez Ojulari of the Giants, he's a hot commodity, and his name is starting to get bandied about. And this is a guy that was a second-round pick by the Giants. That was a Dave Gettleman pick in 21. He's had 3 sacks, 3 quarterback hits, 3 tackles for a loss in 2 games, and that's since he's had to step into the starting lineup for injured Thibodeau. And after 2 injury-plagued seasons so far, he is reminding people of the ability that he has. And I'm talking about Ojulari. He showed it as a rookie. He had 8 sacks as a rookie in 21, 13 quarterback hits. Now he's just trying to focus on his job, not on the trade speculation. But he's definitely on the market for the Bears, and I think they should definitely consider it. His contract is in a good spot. He's in the last year of his rookie contract, and you're looking at Thibodeau. He's on IR with a fractured wrist, but Brian Burns, he has arrived as the team's primary edge defender. Ojulari, he might be auditioning for a role elsewhere, either via trade or offseason free agency. He's going to be tough to sign, and I don't think the Giants really have the money to commit to 2 premier ends on the side, and I think Ojulari is going to demand big money. So hearing it for Ojulari, I'm just trying to go one day at a time, just taking advantage of every opportunity, every practice, every rep I get, just trying to improve myself and help this team, help this defense try to win at the end of the day. A few other guys I think the Bears would consider on a lower end trade or a lower end. Well, yeah, it would be a trade. Defensive tackle Quentin Jefferson out of Cleveland, pass rusher Josh Uche from the Patriots. The Patriots might be doing a fire sale. Definitely kick the tires on Uche. And I did a story a while ago. I think if the Bears make any move at the offensive line spot, I think guard Wyatt Teller from the Browns as well is a really attractive target. And also the Bears and other teams, they tend to trade with the same teams. And I'm trying to kind of stay true to that because the Patriots and the Browns are teams that the Bears have pretty constantly traded with, and they have twice in this offseason. So I'd really like to see one of those deals happen. So you guys let me know what's up. I wanted to address some of these trade rumors without absolutely going full crazy and say that Myles Garrett is coming to town. I don't think that's happening for a second. You guys let me know what you think. Bear down, and cannot wait for this game on Sunday. See